Here we go. And I have the eggs. Yes, I have daughters, obviously. I have daughters, so my eggs are very colorful, and I have a very pink holder. But this is what we're doing. This is how it's going to go down, and this is going to be a lot of fun. So each time I have a new show like this, at least for a while, we'll test this out and see if you guys like it. You can submit questions, and they will go into the eggs. The team will put them in the eggs, and I don't know what's coming at me. And so what I'm going to ask of you is to put questions in the chat, or if you're checking this out on the replay, you can put it in the comments, or you can tweet me at Rosh Sillars. And if you tweet me at Rosh Sillars, just make sure that you let me know. This is an egg question. I don't know how we're going to term this, but you can do that. So there are 3 ways to connect with me in the chat. Now, some of these eggs, not very many this time, but some of these eggs are empty. If it's an empty egg, I'll actually answer some of the questions that are posed live. That's assuming we have more people who come live. And if we do, I'll answer more of them. But right now, I know there are only a couple of the eggs that are here. But if you have questions, even follow-up questions, or if you have answers, that's also helpful too. Something else I'll need, because as you saw, that I have 6 questions that I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull 6 eggs. And we're going to have to come up with a new headline for this show. So if there's a theme among the questions, or there's a really good question or something that we think could really apply, then we'll use that as the headline. So I'll need your help. So maybe as we get through the eggs, you can throw in your headline thoughts. And again, your questions, put them in anytime. And if I have a blank egg, I'll answer it. If I don't, we'll save it and we'll actually print them out and put them in future eggs. And if you want your name mentioned, some people just have initials, some have no names. It can go anyway. The thing is, we'll just see how it all works. So let's start off with the first egg and see what the first business and marketing, a lot of social media, which is great. That can help develop into a theme. A lot of social media related questions, as I understand. So first one, I could even ask you, which eggs to pick. But since, let's see, we have a person or two here, we'll start with this bright, shiny red one. And I don't know what the question is, but let's open it up. And the first question, what is the biggest mistake people make with PPC advertising? And that's from Beth W. Biggest mistake people make with pay-per-click advertising. I think today there are a few things that people really need to make note of. First of all, the biggest mistake that I see is people sending people directly to the front page of their website. 2, which you really just shouldn't do. You have to be very focused. I just talked with a client today, and we're talking about developing landing pages, and they have 3 or 4 different types of new customers that they're going after. And I said, we're going to have to create a landing page for each type of those customers, because the ads are going to be directed, and we have to send them to a page that's about them. And a front page generally doesn't have a good call to action, generally has a lot of different information. And even an interior page, it may have a contact form, it may have a call to action, but if it does have all the elements and is really focused, it could work. It could work, but generally create a custom page. But also understanding the value and importance of audiences. Today, pay-per-click advertising, especially retargeting and so forth, the audience is everything. We can really focus in the type of audience that we want to go after, whether it's through Google or Facebook, and dialing that in and testing out different types of audiences as much as you are testing out different types of ads or keywords and so forth is really just as important. And that wasn't something we really talked about 2 or 3 years ago when talking about pay-per-click advertising. We weren't talking about audiences as much. We had, keywords again, or specific, we knew what we were going after, but an audience helps the AIs find the right people for you. And that's what I find to be really important. So those are the things, those are mistakes. Ignoring the audiences, sending people to the front page rather than having a custom page made for them related to their ads. All right, next question. So we're doing 6 of these. If I can get them open. All right, here's the next question. Is it better to be live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram? Good question. Obviously different experiences for different people. I mean, obviously, if you're really good on Instagram, live is best there. I like YouTube a lot, obviously. I think Instagram Live is a good way to go. Facebook, Facebook used to give a good boost to live and not so much anymore. But if you have a good engaged community and it's working and you turn on Facebook Live and people are there and it seems to be growing, don't give it up. But if I was going to start right now, I would probably, for most people, say start on Instagram. As much as I love YouTube, YouTube's tough egg to crack here. Sorry. Anyway, so that's number 2. I can't believe I said that. Okay, next one is a orange egg. Opening it up. Let's see. Okay. What books should I read about marketing? That's a good question. If you have any books that you like about marketing, put it in the comments or in the chat. I'd be curious to see what you have to say. I would probably go old school on a few books. One of my favorite books that I always recommend is The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. You got to start there. If you're going to start a business and run your own business, you need to know how to go to work. And this book was written for writers who, have a life where you can, in theory, get up anytime you want and you just have a lot of freedom, like freelancers. The point is that when you are an entrepreneur, a small business person, and you don't have to go to a store per se. You work out of your home or you have your own office. Like I have my own studio here. Nobody's waiting for me unless it's a client, unless I come to this studio. But I could, stay in bed all morning and then come in at noon. I mean, I could do it, get away with it if I didn't have to meet clients. And so you have to have some sort of discipline and getting through resistance. I think that's certainly a good one. A longer read, but still valuable, especially when I talk about combination code, is Blue Ocean Strategy. Anything Seth Godin, I think, is always great. Purple Cow is an excellent way to go. Good to Great is another excellent one. These are kind of some classics these days. I have a few new books on my Kindle that I haven't really gotten into. So if you have a new book that you think is worth someone's time, definitely put it in the comments. Let us know. Let me know. Maybe it'll be a recommendation for me to get with the times with the newer books. So good question, though. Excellent question. If you have questions, put them in the chat, put them in the comments, and we'll get into more of these. And I will say your names, give you shout outs. Oh, Empty Egg. Empty Egg. I don't have any comments in the chat. Normally, if I got an empty egg like this and I did have any comments, obviously this is the first time. So hopefully we'll get more people who will make note. If you hit the bell icon when you subscribe to this channel, and if you haven't already, you'll be notified when I set up one of these events. Maybe it'll become at regular times. We'll see. If there's a best time, I will do so. Otherwise, I will. I may just do them random. Because, well, who knows? We'll see. When you start something new, you just kind of have to feel it out and see if it works. But I am really curious. So, no, I will pick 3 more eggs, so it'll be 7 eggs total. But unless you get the other empty one. All right, here we go with the purple. Question is, what is a good conversion rate for PPC? Pay-per-click advertising from Mario. A good conversion rate, I generally look at 1% as the bottom. That is what I'm going for. When I base estimates off, I usually do 2% click-through rate, 1% conversion rate. Now, I have many clients have much higher conversion rates, 3, 4, 5, 10%, sometimes even more in some cases. It'd be great conversion rates. It just depends on what it is. But using a 2%, 1% allows me to have a general idea is if I get 2% click-through rate and a 1% conversion rate, then I know that I will make the client money. And obviously my goal is to do better than that, but that's where I start. And that really is helpful. Okay, that's good. Good question. Easy question to answer. Okay, next question. Another one of these red eggs. Shiny. I like these. These are red, shiny eggs. So anyway, okay. Here we go. All right, next question. How often should I post to a blog? I just have the name Sue here. How often? I think one of the best ways to go about it is to think about how often you can do it consistently. As I often like to say, if you blog once a month, okay. If you have a good long, meaty blog post really designed for search and answering questions and being a really robust blog post, multiple thousands of words, maybe once a month is fine. But the thing is, once a week is better. And what's better than once a week? Well, once a day is better. And multiple times a day is even better than that. But to the point in which the quality of what you're doing is going down. So if you can write a 1,000-word blog post and people are coming and enjoying it and commenting, it's going well, but then you start doing it daily and they're just like quick things, you're just doing stuff, you're not putting the thought into it, you're not offering what really works for people, then they're going to start to unsubscribe. They're not going to follow. They're not going to comment. They're just going to get too much. So it's a combination of the quality of what you want to do, but it's true for any kind of social media. You just need to look at the point of burnout for you as well as the people who follow you. And so more tends to be better to the point in which quality drops off. It's a balance. And it's, I think, true with just about any type of social media. Some social media can handle more, like Twitter can handle more tweets in a day versus, YouTube, where one is good. Some people do 2 or 3, but in those situations, they really step on each other, where Twitter just keeps going. You can put a tweet out there and 1% will see it. You can put another one out. Totally different people will see the tweet. So that's the way you just need to know your landscape. And again, that's the way I look at it. So, okay, we got a yellow egg. And let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, plus the, okay, so that's 5. This would be the 6th. This is the last one. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below or in the live chat if you have specific questions related or follow-up questions related to what we just talked about. But for the first show, it's going to be about 15 minutes. And, as this moves along and we get more questions in, if we get a lot of questions in over time, I'll probably, add, I could do 10. I could do 20. I mean, we'll see. Do a whole marathon. I did that live. What was that? 2.5 hours live a few weeks ago, about a month ago. That was crazy. I was exhausted after that. Okay. How do I rank my blog post? Wow. That's going to take us beyond 15 minutes. That's a long one. Let me share a few basic things that I think that are really helpful to rank a blog. I like using the keyword golden ratio method. Doug Cunnington developed this, and it's a good way, especially if you have a young blog and you don't have a lot of people coming to it. I like to start off with the keyword golden ratio where I would recommend, I think I can go through, I have videos on it, but maybe I should just do a video on it, kind of talking about it. But look up keyword golden ratio. Doug Cunnington is a great way to go. But it'll help drive some traffic early on to your blog and develop that. Make sure, look at the competition, put in a keyword, put in your sentence, whatever your phrase is in Google, see what comes up, and then compare yourself. So if you see that the top blog posts related to the same thing are about, 500-700 words or 1,000 words, well, then make yours a little bit longer, or 25-50% longer, and make sure you're using that keyword golden ratio. Again, look that up. Maybe we can get into that more another time. But that combination alone should really help you over the long term. And keep posting, and that will be very beneficial. I'm doing this with my own clients, just looking up or supporting them with keyword golden ratio ideas. And that way they can just write the content around that headline, and they can start ranking, in the top 20, top 10 relatively quickly. Now, the volume isn't high, but the key is there is volume. There are people looking for that answer. And as your post starts to populate more and more within the search engines, it'll actually show up for other searches. So although it may say, there are 250 people a month looking for that topic or that specific, it may show up many more times. You may drive even more traffic, that like thousands of people over time, as it satisfies more questions. So that's the way I would approach it simply. And I think that would be the best way to go. Well, I am very interested in what you think about this format. I'm having fun with it, and that's the key. For those of you who are interested, the podcast will not be live anymore on either channel. I'm just going to do that because I have a YouTube podcast coming out. I'm just going to do the 2 podcasts, and they won't be live, but I'm replacing it with stuff like this specifically on this channel. This will probably be the main thing because this channel has over 800 videos on it on so many topics. It's such a general channel. Well, since it's such a general channel, well, why not do this? Yes, for those of you who are just coming in, pink, yes, I have daughters. And yes, they're creative too. But the point is I can answer a lot of general questions here because that's really what the channel is about. And if we can get more questions that come in related to supporting you with the growth of your business, we have a foundation here, and I'll continue to upload new videos related to the development of the foundation ideas. When I talk about the combination code, when I talk about awareness, traffic, conversions as our marketing plan, the solar system marketing plan, your unique success combination, a big foundation on this channel, and developing that. There's so many key phrases and understanding that I can incorporate into the answers that we get when I open up one of these eggs. And sometimes when I just don't have it planned and just say, hey, it's almost like a client asking me a question and I'm following up with the answer. And here's a bonus. Here's number 7, although I said there'll only be 6. The bonus 7. How long does SEO take to work? So a lot of SEO and blogging questions in this round. So maybe the headline. If you have a good headline, put it in the comments for this show because I think it's going to be around SEO and blogging. I have a feeling based on the questions I pulled today. But how long does it take to work? Well, believe it or not, the keyword golden ratio ones, I get to rank literally after I go to Search Console. I write the blog post. I take that headline and take that URL, put it in Google Search Console. It's indexed within 5-10 minutes. And I'm able to search in Google and find it ranking in the top 20, 30 pretty quickly in most cases. Some I've had in the top 10, depending on the topic. So that can happen, which I think is pretty cool. But in general, when you start a brand new website, it's going to take, months, even 6 months for it to all happen. Hey, welcome everyone who's new. Definitely, we're wrapping up here, but definitely check out the beginning of the show and tell me what you think in the comments of what I'm doing here, and if we think this is a good idea. And definitely add your questions that I can put in these eggs. Very helpful. So it can take 6 months before your blog really, some people consider it like a sandbox penalty. Sometimes that's just what it takes for it to happen to attract enough links and juice to get it going. But generally it's about 6 months for a blog, especially a new blog, new website, to really get traction. It can be done sooner, but that takes a lot of effort that maybe a lot of us don't want to deal with. So we'll see. Thank you again. It's been great. I had fun. I hope you had fun. I hope maybe some thoughts came to mind like, hey, I should ask this question. I should put that one in the ring. And I'm looking forward to it. You have a great day. I'm looking forward to it. Maybe I'll do it again later this week, maybe Friday-ish. Keep an eye out, but definitely once a week. And I hope this continues, or maybe we'll tweak it a little bit. But your input is super important. You have a great day.